It's grand final time, and what a game it is going to be. I'm Paul Grzadka, joined by Anthony Seibold, and today on the game plan, we are going in depth to work out what it will take to win the decider. Seibs, let's start with the big men in Parramatta. Creating line breaks, Junior Paolo, Ryan Madison, Sean Lane and Isaiah Papali'i. They've all got the ability to pop an offload and set up some attacking second phase play.
Yeah, there's plenty of power and punch in that group of players that you mentioned. One of the things that we know from Penrith is they're one of the best defensive sides over the last 3 seasons. And one thing I see from teams, when they do put the Panthers under pressure, it's when they change angles and offload the ball in contact. So this is an example, Parramatta marching up from their end of the field. So Papali'i jumps back underneath or drops back underneath. And what he's trying to do is see some tired or lazy defenders back on the inside to try and poke his head and shoulders through. He comes back through, beats kick out. But what he does now is he looks to get an offload away. So it's a late offload. But what you see is there's a group of Penrith defenders who are all disrupted off the back of that offload. So have a look at this clump of Panthers defenders. If Gutherson can find a pass on the end of his run there, then they really put some pressure on the Panthers. So that's one of the things that I would do. This is another example against the Cowboys last week. So Sean Lane, we know what he can do in traffic. And again, coming out of the yardage, gets his head and shoulders in between Chad Townsend there. But there's plenty of support there from the Parramatta Eels. So this time Reed Mahoney gets the ball. But what you can see is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Cowboys defenders all around that offload. So all of a sudden, instead of 13 in the line, there's only 8 defenders left in the line. That's where they can try and break up the Penrith Panthers this week, I think. Close to the line, you spoke about the big men. Junior Paolo, Regan Campbell-Gillard. We've seen both those guys go through close to the line in recent weeks. This is an example when you put Junior Paolo one-on-one. Now, we know Kikau's a big man, but one-on-one, Junior Paolo is very hard to handle, and he's got a great late offload. So Reed Mahoney pushing through in support, again, creating instability in the Panthers' defensive line. So I think changes of angles and offloads can upset the Panthers' structured defence because it is very good defence.
Yeah, that's right. That's when they're on the attack. Let's talk about another way to turn around the Panthers, and it's to kick long earlier in the tackle count. Explain why you think this tactic might work against the Panthers on Sunday.
Well, you've got to try and suffocate the Panthers. And what Panthers do really well is march up the field. We know Brian Tohu in the backfield. Those types of players are very good carriers. So what I would suggest is kick early. So this is tackle 4, and this worked last time in the first half in week 1 of the finals. Mitchell Moses was kicking early. Reed Mahoney was kicking early. So tackle 4 kick. Now have a look at what this opens up. 1, there's no kick pressure from kick out because they think he's not kicking till the last play, so no kick pressure to start with. Moses kicks. The other thing I want to point out is this. There's the winger connected on the end of the line. There's the other winger connected on the end of the line. And all of a sudden, Dylan Edwards is in the backfield with all this space to defend. There's so much space there. So you can actually go down there with your kick chase line and suffocate the Panthers. Dylan Edwards all by himself there. He's a little man, and you can see there's a really thick Parramatta Eels defensive line off the back of that early kick. So that's one way that I would try and suffocate the Panthers, making it a little bit more difficult for them to come out of their end. So this time, again, if we look at the tackle count, tackle 4, again, a couple of weeks ago in the first week of the finals, it was a real arm wrestle till half time. So Reed Mahoney kicks from dummy half. Again, if we point out where the wingers are, connected on the end of the line, connected on the end of the line, who's by themselves down here? Well, it's Dylan Edwards, and there's all this space for the Parramatta Eels to go and chew up some metres. So put the ball in behind Dylan. He actually makes an error, and that's unusual for Dylan Edwards, but I just like that mentality of kicking early when the wingers are up connected, make Dylan Edwards feel isolated, and then you can go and bash them up on the next couple of plays. So they're 2 tactics that I think Parramatta could use on Sunday evening.
Now, Penrith will be potentially keyed in onto this strategy, and they've got a number of good kick pressure players that will make Moses, Mahoney, Dylan Brown's life difficult.
Yeah, they do. I think one of the things that you look at with Penrith Panthers, they're effort areas. The areas that don't take skill or talent, they're exceptional at. So one of the reasons why I spoke about Parramatta kicking a tackle early is this. So this is an example of the effort areas I'm talking about. So you'll see kick out. He's going to put kick pressure on Mitchell Moses and make Mitchell Moses kick on Penrith Panthers' terms. So change of pace from kick out makes Mitchell Moses rush his kick. So therefore, it's an easier catch in the backfield. So this time you see Dylan Edwards in the backfield gets the ball, Stephen Crichton rather, but have a look, Dylan Edwards is there in support, then the far wing is pushing back in support, so all of a sudden there's actually 3 Penrith Panthers in behind the ball so they can start their march upfield straight away. So that's what happens on last plays. Penrith Panthers put good kick pressure on, but then they've got 3 in the backfield. Another area that we look at from Penrith Panthers, and they do exceptionally well, is their escort. So this time it's Dylan Brown kicking. So you'll see there's a change of pace from James Fisher-Harris, make Dylan Brown kick on the Panthers' terms. But this is the other area off the ball that doesn't take skill or talent. That there, okay? So Mitchell Moses is trying to get into the chase there on Stephen Crichton, who's at the back in this particular occasion. But Jerome Luai is working hard off the ball. So that doesn't take skill, no talent required. It takes an effort. That's what the Panthers are the best at in the competition. There's no doubt about that. So really good job there from the Panthers players.
Yeah, that's great. And then with their own kicking game, Nathan Cleary, he's really going to look to pinpoint Clint Gutherson when he's in the line and take full advantage, which we've spoken about before.
Yes, I want to show a still shot from a recent example we showed. So if we have a look at Clint Gutherson, there he is plugged in the line. And the Penrith Panthers are the best at identifying when fullbacks plug in the line. So last week, let's have a look at where Latrell Mitchell is. There's Latrell Mitchell. He's plugging in the line there, and the Panthers identify it. So you can see there's no one marking all this kick space through here because of Latrell Mitchell plugging in the line. So think Clint Gutherson from the still shot. If he does that, Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai are the best in the competition at identifying that and then making teams pay. So again, let's have a look at where Latrell Mitchell is. There he is in the defensive line. They shift the ball to their left-hand side. There's Jerome Luai. So there's still Latrell Mitchell in the line. So there's all this space through here to kick through for the Panthers chase. So again, Jerome Luai identifies where Latrell is, plugging in the line. They put a little grubber kick through and they get a reward off the back of that. So every time Gutherson plugs in the line, Cleary, Luai will communicate that. Dylan Edwards will communicate that. That's their visual cue to look at.
He's going to have his work cut out for him on Sunday. It's going to be great. Nothing better than a rivalry game to decide the Premiership. Thanks, Seibs. It is sold out. However, you can still watch this one on Channel 9 or Sky New Zealand.